Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel and welcome to day 14 of the 25 days of Craftmas, which means we are now crossing into the latter half of Craftmas. Editing Miley, you hang in there. I'm gonna open bag 14 to find out what the heck I am making today. Day 14 in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah! Today I am making a wood tic-tac-toe game or board. I put this on my list of DIYs for a few different reasons. Number one, I think this is a great beginner woodworking project, and when I build mine, I'm gonna try to limit the tools that I use so that we can keep it within the beginner-friendly realm. Also, I think this would make for a great gift. It's definitely unique. I don't think everybody is getting a wood tic-tac-toe game. And two, I would think this would just make for a great coffee table decor piece. So it just kind of checked a lot of boxes, and personally I think I'm gonna be keeping mine because I like this so much. So with all of that being said, I do need to spend a few minutes designing out my tic-tac-toe game and how I'm gonna put it together, and once I have that designed out, we can go from there. For this project, I had already gone ahead and ordered a 2-inch alphabet stencil kit, so I ended up using those square stencils to plan out my design of this game and figure out the measurements I needed and also the spacing I needed. Okay guys, I have my tic-tac-toe games all designed out. I'm at the store to pick up the supplies I need to make them, and when I was designing it out, I realized that I'm gonna have a ton of leftover supplies, so I'm gonna make two different versions of this tic-tac-toe game. One is gonna be super duper easy and very straightforward, and one is gonna be just slightly harder. So let me go get these supplies so that we can get to work making them. I am back home. I've got all of my supplies. I'm going to use my miter saw and my circular saw to get all of my pieces cut down. Once everything's cut down, I can move inside to put it all together. I started out by cutting 2x4s into pieces that make up the actual X's and O's for this tic-tac-toe game. And I used one of those stencils again to mark out 3 of the 4 sides of the 2x4. I wanted each piece to have a nice square look to it, so I first cut the piece down to length, and then I flipped it around to cut off the 2 rounded off sides. So the 2x4 piece went from looking like this to this, making it perfectly square. And the final thing that I had to cut down was the boards that would make up the bottom of this tic-tac-toe game. I wanted the outside pieces to wrap around these boards so that I gave it a more polished look. So what I did was I laid all of the pieces out and measured so that I knew exactly how big these bottom boards needed to be. Okay guys, I just spent a good amount of time hand sanding down all of the edges on all of the pieces so everything is nice and smooth. And I'm gonna start off by working on the easier version of the tic-tac-toe game. The harder version is gonna have little spacers in between all of the pieces. So in front of me, I've got 2 MDF board pieces that are cut down to the same size. Each one is 1/4 of an inch thick. I needed the base to be a little bit thicker, so I cut down 2 pieces, and I'm just gonna attach these 2 pieces together. Then once those are attached, I'll take the outside pieces and get them attached together and also get them attached to the MDF boards. And for this project, to make it nice and easy, I'm actually gonna be using hot glue. I've never thought to use hot glue and wood together, but I just saw a video about a week ago that showed how strong the bond is between hot glue and wood, and I was thoroughly shocked. So I'm gonna give it a try and hopefully this works out. I was completely shocked at how well hot glue worked to attach 2 pieces together. And I kind of knew hot glue worked, but I just wasn't sure how strong the bond was, and it is incredibly strong. And not only is it incredibly strong, but within a few minutes, the boards are thoroughly stuck together. So the set time is really quick. Guys, what the heck? Why have I never used hot glue and wood together? It's only been like a few minutes and these things, they're stuck together. So I just went ahead and used wood filler and I filled in all of the gaps between the outside pieces. So once that dries, I can go in and sand all of that down, and that'll create a nice smooth look between all of the pieces. And also, as you can tell, I went and I just popped the little 2x4 pieces into the board to make sure everything fit. For the game, that is nice and easy without the spacers. Everything worked great, everything fit nicely. And for the game with the spacers, yeah, I did have to make some adjustments. All the spacer pieces fit nicely. These are just popped in. I don't have them glued down yet. But for all of the actual 2x4 plain pieces, they were just slightly too big. So I had to go outside and I cut down 2 of the sides by a blade width. This is also why I do think this is such a great beginner-friendly project, because your measurements and everything do have to be nice and precise so that everything works together, but they're nice small pieces, so if you do have to adjust anything, it's pretty easy. So what I have to do now is actually create the playing pieces. I knew I was going to be doing this project, so a few months ago I got these alphabet stencil kit. So I've got an X here, I've got an O here, and to make sure I have enough X's and O's on 3 of the pieces, I'm gonna make an X on one side and an O on the other side. And also, since I am making 2, probably gonna play around with some color variations, but I'm just gonna start playing around and see what I like. These stencils ended up working out great. I mean, the X's and the O's aren't perfect by any means, but I also kind of like it that way. It feels a bit more handmade. And since the second game, I had to make the pieces slightly different in size, I decided to go ahead and stain them so that I didn't get the 2 pieces mixed up between the 2 games. And since I stained them, I had to let them sit, and I moved on to working on each one of the game boards. guys, my tic-tac-toe games are almost done. I've let all of these pieces sit for a few hours, and now I can go in and add top coat. And I decided that it's probably easier to add top coat before I put the spacers in on the version that has the spacers. So I'm gonna add top coat to that, let the top coat dry, and then I'll use hot glue to pop these into place. And that will complete my 2 different versions of my tic-tac-toe wood games. And I think these are gonna look super cool in the end. And that is it, guys. This DIY is still one of my favorite DIYs from Craftmas. I love how each one of these games turned out. They both were fairly easy putting them together. The one with the spacers was a bit more challenging, but still not bad. I also think this would make for such a unique gift as coffee table decor. I currently have one of mine on my coffee table, and I love the way it looks. It's just something a little different than a coffee table book. So I hope you guys liked this video and project. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 15 of the 25 days of Craftmas. Bye guys!